So you use Power BI, right? You know that amazing feeling of just dragging and dropping things to create these beautiful visuals? But what happens when you hit a wall? When you need to ask a question the buttons just can't answer? Well, that's where DAX comes in. And I promise, it's not some scary programming language. It's the key that unlocks the real power hiding in your data.
Here's the game plan. We're going to cover why you even need DAX in the first place, then break it down into just 3 core concepts. After that, we'll look at a real formula, untangle this super important idea of context, and finally see how you can actually use all this. It's a quick trip from why bother to how can I start.
All right, let's jump right in with the big question. Power BI is designed to be so easy to use, so why on earth would you need to learn a formula language?
I'm guessing this feels familiar. You're in the zone. You're building out a report, you have a very specific question you need to answer, but there's no button for it. There's no pre-built function that does what you need. It feels like you've hit the limits of the software.
And that is exactly why DAX exists. When drag and drop just isn't enough, DAX is your answer. It stands for Data Analysis Expressions, and it's the language that puts the control back in your hands. It lets you go beyond the basics and get the exact answers you need.
So how does this all work? You might be surprised to hear that what looks like a complex language is really just built on 3 simple fundamental ideas.
First up, what even is DAX? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like Excel formulas on steroids. It's supercharged for business intelligence. It's a language of functions and operators that's used across Microsoft's tools, not just Power BI, but also in things like Excel's Power Pivot. So the skills you pick up here, totally transferable.
And everything, I mean everything, boils down to these 3 things. First, you've got syntax. That's just the grammar, the rules for how you write the formula. Second, there's context. This is the magic part. It's how DAX knows which data to calculate. And third, you have functions, which are just ready-made commands like sum or average that do all the heavy lifting for you. That's it. Syntax, context, functions.
Okay, let's tackle that first concept, syntax. We're going to take apart a real DAX formula right now just to show you there's no black magic here. It's just simple, straightforward logic.
Here we go. This is a super common type of DAX formula. Now, it might look a little technical, I get it, but trust me, every single character you see here has a simple, specific job. Let's break it down. See? It's totally logical. Step 1, total bid. That's just what we're naming our new calculation. Simple. 2, that little colon equal sign, that's just the starting gun, telling Power BI, hey, a formula's coming. 3, we use a function, in this case, sum, to tell it what to do. 4, the parentheses just hold the information our function needs. And inside, we tell it the table name, awards, that's step 5, and the specific column, bid, that's step 6. So all we're really saying is, sum up the bid column from the awards table. That's all there is to it. All right, now for what is maybe the most important concept in all of DAX, context. If you can wrap your head around this, you're going to find that DAX is incredibly powerful and honestly pretty intuitive.
So when you use that sum function we just talked about, how does it know if you want to sum up the bids for everything or just for one specific product that a user clicked on? The answer is context. And there are 2 types of context you need to know. First is row context. Imagine you're standing on a single row in a giant spreadsheet. You can only see the values in that one row. That's row context. It calculates things one row at a time. Now zoom out. Filter context is the big picture. It's the collection of all the filters that are active in your report, like someone chose 2023 from a slicer or clicked Canada on a map. Filter context narrows down your entire table first, and then the calculation happens on whatever data is left.
Okay, so we've got the building blocks down, syntax and context. So what can you actually build with this stuff? This is the good part, where theory turns into a seriously practical tool.
You see, with DAX, you're creating powerful, reusable assets for your data model. You can make dynamic summaries called measures, create brand new data points with calculated columns, or even build entirely new tables from scratch. Let's look at each one.
First up, the calculated measure. This is what you'll use DAX for most of the time. It's for your big summary numbers, like total sales or average profit.
The real magic is that a measure is calculated on the fly, based on the filter context. So when a user clicks a button, your measure instantly recalculates to show the new number. It's completely dynamic. Next, we have the calculated column. Now, this is different from a measure. It's not dynamic. Instead, it physically adds a new column to one of your tables. It runs its calculation once for every single row, using row context, and then stores the result. This is perfect for something like creating a profit column by subtracting the cost from the price on every line in your sales data.
And finally, the most advanced application, the calculated table. Yep, you can write a DAX formula that creates a whole new table in your data model. This is incredibly powerful for doing more complex analysis. The classic example is creating a custom calendar table, so you can analyze your data by things your original data doesn't have, like a fiscal year or a work week.
So there you have it, syntax, context, and functions. Those are the 3 pillars of DAX, and you use them to create measures, columns, and tables. We've pulled back the curtain, we've shown you the logic. It's not so scary after all, is it? So the only real question left is for you. What's that business question you've been dying to answer? Now you have the tool. Go for it.